We're going to flip these papers over. So if you are on TikTok and you want to be on the Fast and Thrive tribe, you want to join Facebook. That's where the group is. Next 3-day fast is going to be Sunday, March 3rd to Wednesday, March 6th. So if you've never fasted before, we're going to get into all that. We're going to talk about all the things. I'm going to do my best answering your questions. Obviously, I have Facebook going over here and TikTok, so I'll do my best. But, if you guys have other questions for me, you can always reach out. You can DM me, and then I will answer your questions that way. So I've been fasting since 2018. If you're a part of the group, I've been sharing some of that. Those of you that are on TikTok, I share a lot of my cancer story, as well as some of my fasting stuff. So I'm all about health and wellness. We're in my garage right now, which is my gym. I've been a nutrition coach, a personal trainer, life coach, all the things. And my goal is really to help you start again after cancer, after menopause, after illness. If you've had failures in your life, whatever it is, my goal is to help you make a fresh start and get you there efficiently and quick. How do we do that? So fasting was one of the ways that really helped me up my game in my health. So that's the next one. It's coming up Sunday. We're going to talk about how to prepare for that probably at the very end. So let's go. Don't worry about this. This is my cell. We're not talking about that tonight. So we're just going to read my paper. All right, here we go. Fasting for health. Hope you guys can see it. All right, we're going to talk tonight about the types of fasts that you can do because there's all kinds. I know that some of you are like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. You're doing the 3-day fast, or a lot of times I do a 5-day fast. But a 3 days really, I've really enjoyed that 3-day time frame is really nice. But there's all kinds of fasts. So if you're just fasting curious, I want you to think about that. And I want you to realize that it's okay to just be curious, kind of look at the group, go, what's going on? What is the information about this? Is this safe for me? And how I can ease into this rather than like jumping right in. So we're going to talk about the type. We're going to talk about how long should I fast, how to begin a fast, and kind of safety practices for fasting, right? Safety first. Safety first. So I'm going to go through, we're going to go through this, and then I'm going to look to see if you guys have any questions. And if you are on TikTok and you haven't joined the group and you want to, just go there and then I will approve you. And then if you had questions that I missed, I will get to those. I'll kind of look through that after we get through this. If you're on my fasting group, I know some people are on, some people aren't. No big deal. It'll be sitting on the group, so you guys can always rewatch it. So, all right, types of fast. Let's talk about this. I'm in, why do I even know about this, right? Besides my own experience, I'm actually working on my health practitioner certification right now. And a lot of that's going to be ancient healing strategies like fasting. It's one of the things that has been around for centuries. Oftentimes I thought of it as religious. If I ever think of fasting prior to me having cancer, it was always kind of taking that time, like a spiritual reflection, to like sit back and kind of make yourself a little bit uncomfortable and not reaching for food, but reaching for God. So when I got cancer and I started learning about this as health and healing, I was like, well, this is different. And then I think as I've dug into the research, read some books, which I'll get into what books should you read or, which ones I would suggest. And there's lots of books you can read. So, all right, types of fast. Let's start first. Intermittent. Most people are pretty comfortable with that. They know what that is. I would suggest you could just start with that. That's a great beginner way to start. So you could do a 16-hour fast and then an 8-hour window where you would eat and consume your calories. Or you could do an 18-6 and push yourself a little bit more. The goal is, how do we create good stress, hormetic stress, positive stress in our body so that we have to adapt, right? So I've been a personal trainer for years. Most people understand this from this perspective because most people at some time in their life have worked out and they have done a routine and it's been really great for them. And then what happens? They go, ugh, like I've been doing this and I got really strong and everything, and now I've hit a plateau. And they go, why did I hit this plateau, right? And when you have a trainer, or you're reading some magazines and you're going, why is this happening? You realize that your body has now adapted to that stress. Same thing happens with nutrition, guys. So a lot of times people are afraid to change diet. Oh, I did the keto diet. That really worked for me. I'm going to keep going with it. But then eventually it doesn't work any longer. So changing your diet, and that's a whole nother conversation, diet variation. But changing your fasting can also be really important for keeping your body under just enough stress in order to create those changes that you want. And most of the time when it comes to people that are looking to fast, right, sometimes have autoimmune disease, they've had something like cancer, chronic illness of some sort, or they're just wanting longevity, because you can have these, short changes or improvements in your, human growth hormone. You can, that process of autophagy, of kind of getting rid of the bad so that the cells are able to uptake good stuff and clear out the bad stuff. So there's all kinds of reasons people fast, but intermittent fasting, easiest way to do it. You think about it this way: if you go to sleep, if your last meal is at 6 p.m. and then you get up at 6 a.m., that's 12 hours. Like you already got 12 hours in, right? So then you just have to adjust it. Maybe you skip breakfast, or you can always do the reverse of that, which can help, especially in menopausal women. A good thing suggested that I tried is I flip-flop that. I had breakfast, a late lunch, early dinner, and then kind of had more time for my body to, work or just be able to use the food in my body. So intermittent fasting. Okay, the next one, OMAD. That's 1 meal a day. So that would be a 23-hour fast, and then you take 1 hour, and that is your feasting window. Now you don't want to go and get, Chick-fil-A during that time, or a pizza, and be like, all right, I fasted, I'm just going to go eat, everything I want. So you want to really be intelligent and be smart about this. You want to get, healthy fats, good protein, good healthy nature's carbs to re-inoculate your gut, refuel your body. So this 1 meal a day, you have a 1 hour window in that fast that you feast. And I'm talking like enjoy yourself, but with whole nutritious foods, things that are going to heal your body, not hurt. So no fast food and alcohol and things like that. Okay, so that's 1 meal a day. That's another fast. Partial fast, if you've ever heard of Prolon, that would be an example. Some people will do they'll eat 500 calories for the day. That's a partial fast. And Prolon is a product that you can actually buy that they give you everything you need for 5 days. And it's about 500 calories, 500, 700 calories, depending male, female. And that is another type of fast that you can do, right? Pushing it just a little bit more. So you got this intermittent, I go, okay, it's like building your bicep. Like, okay, I'm able to do, 3 sets of 15, and now it's really easy. Now I'm going to do, 3 sets of 12 and lift that weight a little higher. And now we're in a partial fast, and I'm going to do 3 sets of 8 and add, another 10 pounds to those weights, right? Building more stress in our body. All right, bone broth fast. I know there's lots of bone broth on the market, but my suggestion would be to make your own. And I know this seems like really cumbersome. For a long time, I avoided bone broth fast because I thought, oh my gosh, I've heard this is going to take forever and it's really hard to do and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I have a 4-ingredient bone broth fast that's in my TikTok. And I think it's on Instagram as well. I made a reel and a TikTok of this 4 ingredients. So it's really simple. If you have an Instapot, it's easy. But if you have any issues with histamines, you want to avoid the bone broth fast. So if you know that about yourself, just avoid those. Bone broth, and then water only fast. So the ones that I'm actually doing within the group, like that I'm kind of promoting every month, is this 3-day fast, right? And it's water only. So it's no caffeine, no teas, none of that kind of stuff. We're actually just doing all water during those 3 days. Now, you can add electrolytes, of course, but we're really trying to stick to just water. The goal is to reboot the immune system. That's my purpose of doing a 3-day fast. And if you want to go longer, obviously, most people, I think it's important to get some type of medical supervision. I've done 5-6 day fasts. And I also use something to check myself, which is a glucometer. So this is a glucometer. You guys can, there we go, there's TikTok, glucometer. This is what I use to check. I use these strips, check my ketones and my glucose to kind of see where I'm at. So that is what I use to kind of make sure that my body is okay. But I think, and we'll get into safety practices in a second, it's really body intelligence. Like being aware of your own body is huge with this. So if you've never done a fast before, that's why intermittent fasting is a good place to start, okay? So let's kind of move on. And again, I'm gonna answer all your questions after, at the end. Okay, so why am I fasting? Before we do this, I wanna just show you a couple books. There's a lot of information, a lot of great doctors out there. These are just the two that I started with and I've really enjoyed. So this is Dr. Pompa's Beyond Fasting book. This is actually not just about fasting, but about what happens after you fast. So really, really good book to get. Fast Like a Girl, Dr. Mindy Pelz. This woman is like the queen of fasting. And if you are a woman, she speaks to us, ladies. It's men and women have to fast differently. Like it really is true. Our bodies are very different. Hormone cycles are different. When women reach menopause, and we're kind of in a more similar place. But during the years where you have a cycle, very different when to fast and all that. So it's really important that you understand your body. So Fast Like a Girl, Dr. Mindy is on YouTube and she's amazing. She's got tons of fasting groups and things like that she does every month. So if you're a woman, she's great. But guys, you can learn a lot from that as well. So those are two books I would recommend for those of you who are curious about fasting, want to read a little bit more about it and kind of understand it from a doctor's perspective, right? I'm not a doctor. Nutrition coach, personal trainer. I've been in the health and fitness world forever, life coach, and I'm working on my health practitioner certification. So different. These guys are doctors, so I would recommend either one of those books. All right. Why am I fasting? Now, here's the thing. When it comes to that, I think it's really important to be clear. What is the reason I'm fasting? And weight loss, will it happen? Sure. Shouldn't be the reason you're fasting. All right, that's not a reason to fast. Having habits that are whole food, healthy, sustainable habits is what we want to put in place for true weight loss. But if we want to reboot our system in some way, then we want to look at like why, am I fasting? Let me just kind of move this one. Which way? This way. Okay, here we go. So number one, okay, I said reset diet variation. That's going to be that intermittent fasting, that kind of 13 to 15 hour time period, right? That you guys can choose. That's like a little reset. It helps if you have hit a point, a plateau in your life. Maybe you've been eating healthy. Women, you're going through perimenopause, whatever it is, like things like that. Then an intermittent fast is a great thing to do because you just want to kind of shake it up a little bit, okay? Just trying to get a little variation to your diet. So that would be maybe a reason why. Second, autophagy. Those of you that have been in my group or, you kind of have heard about it, most of us know that word to some degree at this point. What does that mean? It's basically the bad cells like getting out of your body, okay? We just need to move them out, move the bad crap out so we can make room for some good stuff. 17 hours. So you want to think here, this would be kind of a 13 to 15 hour. This is going to be about a 17 hour plus, all right, that you start getting into autophagy where, your cells it's kind of an eating of the bad cells. All right, I won't get into all the nitty gritty with that because it'll take too long. Gut reset is next. So those of you that have all kinds of gut issues, I'm one of them. I'm feeling it today, actually. I'm not sure why. I actually just got my food sensitivity test back. I'll talk more about that probably on TikTok this week and show you guys my results. Actually, really promising and really good. I do think that some of my gut stuff has more to do with my immune system, which I'm working on I'm always working on fixing that to helping it thrive, and my nervous system. So learning to do a little bit more meditations, vagus nerve work is really important, right? Gut-brain axis, we know that there's a connection. So a gut reset is going to be about 24 hours plus. So tomorrow on Wednesdays during Lent, I'm actually with my mom doing a 24-hour fast. So we did it last week. I'll continue this throughout Lent. And I really look forward to these. My body just doesn't always work the way it should. I've been like that since I got mono when I was 17. Those of you that have gut issues, you know how it is, right? And you try to fix it with all kinds of things. I was like living on stool softeners and Gas X for years, like popping them like candy. And really a lot of it in the late 90s, early 2000s, people said, you have IBS, we don't really know what to do. Eat more fiber. So even though I was eating a clean diet and stuff, it really never completely went away until 2019. That was the best it was. I actually did a protocol because I was diagnosed with SIBO. SIBO is small intestine bacterial overgrowth. And in the process of that, I did 2 weeks on a carnivore diet, all meat. And guys, I was like mainly plant-based. So it was like a flip of the switch, but I was willing to do anything, and it improved my gut health tremendously. I was actually really great for about 2 years, and then I got COVID in 2021. Once I got COVID, it was like, boom. It was like my immune system was like screaming at me again. So my goal this year, I'll be 50 this year. So my goal is to really start to calm the immune system down and really look at what are the supplements I need. Supplements have been a big factor for me. It's helped me a lot. And when I have more meat in my diet, not the easiest thing for me because I love vegetables, I love fruit and all that stuff. But I know that I feel better when I actually eat more of a carnivore lifestyle. Okay, so 24 hours gut reset. If you guys have gut problems, try it. I'm telling you right now. If you don't want to do like this 3-day fast that we're going to do, March 3rd to the 6th, do 1 day, especially if you have gut problems, and see what happens. Like you will feel better. Like you'll feel better. All right, fat burner. You just want to, maybe you're just like, man, I am a sugar burner. I am not somebody that seems efficient at burning fat. 36 hours. All right, 36 hours. That's what the research is showing. So right there, 36 hours fat burner fast. All right, dopamine push. Okay, so those of you that feel, right, like you are suffering with depression, anxiety, OCD, ADHD, ADD, all the things that we have because there's so many neurotoxins in our food. The soil is depleted, right? We have more vaccinations. There's a myriad of reasons why people are suffering these days. How do we reset that? 48 hours, 2 days, it'll help to reset. I'll tell you what, when I am actually doing my fast, I feel great. I feel so great. I always have one night, usually day 2 or 3, I go to bed and I sleep about 4 to 5 hours. I wake up with so much energy. I usually get up at like 5 in the morning and I'm like going. So I just have this great burst of energy. I think, my body's in the process of autophagy. My gut starts to feel really, really good. And I'm able to heal. And I start to get like just all the good things, all the good feelings, right? In our mind and our bodies. So dopamine push, if you struggle with that, consider maybe trying that maybe once a month, right? A 48 hour. You don't want to do the 3-day with us, do the 48. All right, this is the one that I focus on the most. All right, I have cancer. I've had a bunch of autoimmune diseases. There are over, I think, 400 or 500 autoimmune diseases. And most people who have one have about 4 to 6 of them. So for me, I had mono when I was 17. That seemed to kind of change the landscape of my body. Before that, I was a super healthy kid. A couple months after I had mono, I ended up having my wisdom teeth out. I didn't have an infection or anything, but it was something that, you can end up with bacteria in the gut and all kinds of stuff when they remove those, cavications, all kinds of things. And not too far after that, I actually had food poisoning. And it seemed about 3 months after I had food poisoning, I just started having all these problems in my stomach. So I think the mono kicked it off. And then I've had, IBS, I've had SIBO, I've had cancer, I was just diagnosed with Hashimoto's, sort of figuring out that. So those of you with Hashimoto's, here's the book that I'm reading right now. Here it is. It's a good one. I just started it. It's called Root Cause. Root Cause. I'm really liking that book. So that's by Isabella Wentz, W-E-N-T-Z. You can get it on Amazon. So this is my year to tackle that, right? All of these things are connected to my very poor immune system, which I had a doctor look at very specific blood work. And she was like, okay, we have a low white blood cell count and just this overactive immune system. So we need to get those in balance. So we're kind of tackling that. But immune booster, all right, that is going to be the 3 to 5 day fast. That's what I want to do. So my group, what I talk about, what I say, hey guys, we're going to do this 3-day fast. You can join us. You can do one of these. You can do a fast. Some people are, my mom actually leaves to go back to New York. She's actually going to wait and do her fast on Wednesday. She's going to go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe. And then my sister-in-law, she actually just did one a week ago. So people do it at different times, and you guys can hop in and out with people or be like, hey, I'm doing a 24 hours. Anybody want to join? I mean, use the group to your advantage. My goal is to just, number one, it keeps me accountable, right? And it keeps me around people that are like-minded, that are looking for longevity and how to improve their health, and helps me to, stay educated myself. So after I do my 3-day fast in March, I'm going to kind of get myself, back to normal. And then I'm actually going to do 2 weeks on an all-meat diet. So if anybody wants to do that, I will be doing that after that. So here we go. All right, 2 things to get clear on. These are just things I would recommend doing before. Get yourself a journal. Even though this isn't, we're not doing this for necessarily spiritual reasons, I think there's a spiritual component to fasting no matter what. So I always tell people, write down your intentions. What is it that you want to get out of this fast? What is a breakthrough you're looking for? What is something you want to get really clear about? I think that is an important factor when it comes to fasting, is what is your why? And then the other thing is, what's next? So you've done this fast, now what? Like, does that mean I'm going to do a fast and I'm just going to go, eat what I want and splurge and do whatever? Like, what's the next step for you? Is it for me, I'm going to do a carnivore diet for 2 weeks. Why am I doing that? Some of the reasons why is that's how I really started to reset my gut microbiome. I feel the best, and I really want to implement this as a lifestyle a little bit more. Not that I'm going to do carnivore the rest of my life, because I'm not, but just having more of that variation in my diet. And I want to be very strategic, because I know I feel better when I just have more meat in my diet. So you know what? I'm not going to deny it any longer. I felt really bad. In fact, I didn't even want to put things on Facebook, because I have a 30-day whole food cleanse, and most of it is fruits and vegetables. And not that I was against meat. I was never against meat, but it was like oh my gosh, like, I don't want to put this out, and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, what do you mean, eating this? So it seems extreme, but so does veganism. So does plant-based, right? So does, like, I'm going to go fat-free, like in the 90s, and, never have sugar, where our brains love glucose. I mean, it was like insane in the 90s when we think about it. So, what's next for you? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what is your goal here? So always thinking through and thinking ahead rather than just like, because here's the thing, right? I always used to tell people in my nutrition coaching program, I always say, fail to plan, plan to fail. If you do not have a plan, you're going to fail. I mean, I'm the same way. If I'm just like, it's like it's easy to just grab, I'll just eat this banana or whatever, instead of being strategic, or somebody invites you out or whatever. So be strategic, set a goal. If you're doing this for health and healing, these are the people that I want around me. These are the people that should be a part of this, right? This is not about like, let's lose weight and, rally for each other. This is really, truly like, how do I thrive? How do I have longevity? How do I get healthy? How do I heal? So what's next, right? That's what we want to do. All right, safety practices, and then I'm going to take your questions. All right, I really thought a lot about this today. Like, what do I want to share? This was, I think it was Lance in the group. I don't know if you're watching or not, Lance, but, what is it that, his question was, how can I fast for health safely? Like, how can I be safe about this? So here's some of the things I thought about with that question and what I wanted to share with you guys when it comes to this. Now, most people, when they're thinking about fasting, right, they know some of the health benefits. So it can improve your, human growth hormone. It has the ability to change some of your gene expression, longevity, autophagy, being able to have an improved metabolism, right? So we want to go into this with, number one, body intelligence, body awareness. I don't care if we're talking about mental health, if we're talking about physical health, being aware, being connected to yourself is important, right? Meditation is important. It connects us. Prayer is important. It connects us. You want to have healthy relationships, get connected to yourself, right? Like, that's what I teach people when I do life coaching. It's not about the other person. It's not about what the world is saying to you. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about, how do I connect to me so that I can be the best version of me, and then I have such a great gift then to give the world, to give my family, to give my, my children, my work, whatever. So it's all about body intelligence, being able to be aware of how you're feeling. So if you're in the midst of a fast and you're not feeling good, and you're like, but I want to do this for 3 days. I appreciate the good old college try. I do. I was an athlete. I like to go into things like, I'm doing this is where I'm going. But what I've learned at almost 50 years old is that it's more important to stay connected to yourself, be aware of how you feel. You're going to be uncomfortable, no doubt. You will feel discomfort. If you are a sugar person or a caffeine person, it's going to be uncomfortable. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, I feel dehydrated. I'm super fatigued. I'm not feeling well, feeling a little dizzy, like all of that. Stop. We're going to stop and get some food back into your body. So body intelligence, safe practices, number one, you have to be aware of yourself. Two, start short and build up, and that's why I talked about all the different fasts that you guys can do. So start with a short fast. I would love for as many of you to join us in the next one. And I know some people are quiet. When I'm in a group, I'm not like super talkative, so I get it. Like, I'll probably be on there, and other people, but let us support you, me, Renee. My mom has done multiple fasts. I mean, there's people in the group that have done this a lot. But start with a short one. If you're not ready for 3 days, like, just do it for 13 hours or do it for 24 hours. Push yourself to that point and you say, you know what? Okay, I'm going to stop this time, and then maybe next month I'll try again, right? There's no failure in this. No failure. All right. This This is about longevity and building safety into our body. You wouldn't go to the gym, well, hopefully, I say that, although CrossFit can be like this. You normally wouldn't go to the gym and start powerlifting snatches over your head with, 95 pounds or 135 pounds. No, you would build up, hopefully, if you have a smart trainer and a smart coach, you're going to progressively build up your strength, build up your frequency, your intensity, and all that. You're never going to, put yourself in that situation, right? Those are the macro cycles and the micro cycles of strength and conditioning. So same thing with the body. Start short, build up. All right, choose restorative activities. A lot of times people will ask me, well, can I work out during this time? There was a time when I first started, I made sure, and this kind of gets into booking a fast for your schedule, I would look and say, am I able to do this fast this week or this time? When I first started fasting, I was with a group. It was a 5-day fast. Dr. Pompa would come on with his little whiteboard. He had his little whiteboard and did his doctor stuff. And every night at 7 p.m., I would just take my notes. But I knew I had to conserve energy. I did nothing but maybe walk. In fact, I think the first one, I did a lot of sleeping. So now I work out. I go to the gym. And I'm not doing intense exercise. I'm doing restorative things. So I might do, I still walk, meditation, yoga. I might do a lightweight workout, stretching, anything that's going to be restorative. The other things I would say are, what are things that's going to kind of dial down your nervous system? Is it reading? Is it journaling? Is it getting off of social media for those 3 days, during your fast? Obviously some of you have jobs. I have jobs where I'm on the phone all the time. Like I do UGC ads and all kinds of stuff. But, are you able to find a time during, this fasting period that maybe you just put the phone, you come home from work, go plug the phone in and just give yourself a break? And allow yourself to think again, allow yourself to be bored again, allow yourself to just be connected to the people that are around you. The phone is an easy way to escape. So think of restorative activities, definitely not technical like the phone, but things that are going to restore your health. Maybe it's just even standing outside for 5-10 minutes and being in the sunshine, just feeling the sun and getting some of that, good vitamin D. And then, going back in your house. Something outside the box a little bit different, but that's going to help restore you and not super intense exercise. Okay, book a fast on non-stress or busy days. Now, obviously, some of you are like, yeah, right, like every day is stressful. You don't understand my life. I do. I had lots of days of stress. I was a single mom for 6 years. I get it. I get the busy. I get the hustle. When I choose to fast, I just make sure my schedule of activities isn't so busy. So I might not book that lunch with a friend, right? Even though I could sit with somebody, they could eat and I could be totally fine. I may not do that. I may not even want to go out with a friend. I kind of want to be with me. That's what I want to do. Be with me. I want to be with God. That's what I want to do during that time. Things that are going to empower me, things that are going to make me feel good. So I look at my calendar if I'm going to do this. Now I know that in this group we're doing it's the beginning of March. It's always like that first Sunday in March that we start. So I know this. I make sure I don't have a lot of meetings those days. I don't have a lot of things. I want to make sure I have space if I need a nap, if I need to lay down, if I need just to... I have that space. So book a fast on a non-stress or busy day. Break your fast slow and steady. We don't want to be feasting after fasting, okay? Not right away. You do want to feast, but you do want to wait. So if you're doing a 24-hour, that's a little bit different. But if you're doing a 3 to 5 day fast or a longer fast than that, you want to make sure that you break your fast very strategically. I talk about that in the Fast and Thrive Tribe, how to do that, what foods are good, how many calories should you eat, all of that is important. So slow and steady. A 5-day fast, especially, you want to be very strategic. 3 days, it's not as strict, but I would say I usually wait to even eat meat about 2 days. Like I'll do a 3-day fast, and then it'll be about 48 hours later that I'll add meat back into my diet. So I'm doing things that are just slowly breaking it, not having a ton of calories, just allow your body to get acclimated. And then we want to feast, then we want to make sure, choose 2 to 3 days a week to feast. So in between fasting, we want to look at the week and say, what are my feasting days? And this is something that is whole food, nutritious food, good things that you're going to consume that are going to help inoculate your gut with good diversity, with your microbiome, right? Good foods, probiotics, prebiotics, get back into your supplements, have like good organic grass-fed, grass-finished, meats, wild-caught fish. What else? Like all the, organic fruits, vegetables, all of that stuff. So you want to choose 2 to 3 days to feast. All right, we're finished. So I'm going to take a look at your questions and what questions you have. Again, Fast and Thrive Tribe, next fast, March 3rd to March 6th.